sake. Here we go. Is it live? Am I live right now? Am I live right now? Am I live? Am I live? Fuck! It's a minute behind, that's why. Welcome everybody to Renaissance Radio episode 2. We are back today with many fun things in shoe, if that's the word, in shoe. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about what I titled this video, or this stream, this podcast episode, when I think we will see gameplay and what I think it could be next month. Now, that's going to be the main topic of this video. We will be talking about different things before that and after that and stuff like that due to the nature of how podcasts work. And when this episode is no longer live and it's finished, I will timestamp these so people can jump back and forth. And there's a first member in the chat, Assassin's Creed Shorts, says, "Hi. Hey man, how you doing?" Now, before we get into this fully, I have a little thing I want to say right now. Now, I am not alone today in this episode. I'm actually joined by somebody. Now, I will introduce this person momentarily. This person is a very mysterious man. This person, you definitely don't know who it is, but after this episode, you will. Let me bring him in. Lewis, come in, my friend.
Hello everyone.
How you doing? Take a seat. Take a seat.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So this guy is he's my cousin. He was actually in the chat a few live streams back,
yeah.
and you know, I've got stuff to say about Assassin's Creed. So is he. So I thought, why not bring him on as a guest star in Renaissance Radio episode 2.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it'd be nice to get like a fresh view because I haven't really been playing it that much. So it'd be nice to see what from a different perspective. You get what I mean?
No, sorry, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. But I think there's literally only one person watching right now, which is Assassin's Creed Shorts. But that's fine. People will jump in here and there because I think people get alerted sometimes 5 minutes late. Yeah. Oh shit! Now we got jumped up to 5 viewers. Cool. What's up, everybody? Yeah, as you guys talk in the chat, we will answer you if you have stuff to talk about Assassin's Creed or us in general, stuff like that. But I thought we could just start by just chilling, relaxing, having a talk before we get into the main Assassin's Creed discussion. Now, can you just take a look at the thing I sent you? Because I forgot already what I said. Yeah, of course. Did a little thing.
There you go, my friend.
So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what AS means. What does that mean?
No.
AC. Anyway, so let's first talk about... People don't know who you are, so let's first talk about who you are, you know? And, well, you're Lewis, my cousin.
I think I am, anyway.
Yeah, I from what I know you are,
yes,
unless something's changed, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, tell us about Assassin's Creed and what was your first one and why do you like it and stuff like that.
So, I first started playing Assassin's Creed, ages ago, but it was back on the mobile game. So
was it?
Yeah, that was the first
one.
I played.
Which one?
I don't know. It was.
By the way, if you keep spinning that, everyone's gonna hear it on the thing. Just saying.
So it was. I think it's the first one, and I've really enjoyed it, and I just stopped playing it for a long time.
But when you say the first one, what mobile?
That's like.
Was it called? Was it?
I can't remember.
Was it the one where you just run? It's like a side scroller one. It's called like Altair's Chronicles
Probably,
or something like that.
Probably,
I think I played that on my iPod Touch or something like that. And look what Assassin's Creed Short says. He says, "What is your cousin's favorite game?
Right.
Favorite AC game, I assume, or just favorite game in general? Why don't you tell us both?
So
start with AC and then tell us your favorite game."
My favorite AC game is probably Odyssey. I'm joking. It
You're
probably has
like
to
roasted in the comments right now.
No, it has to be the first one so far. Because it's just a nostalgia, I think, and it's just takes me back to it's like the dogs barking and the birds.
What?
I don't know. So like when you're running across the rooftops and all that,
right,
you get like the dogs barking, it just takes you back to the mobile game.
You played that first game quite recently, didn't you?
Yes,
for the first time. Yeah. Did you ever finish it?
Yeah, no.
No, you never finished it. Did you enjoy it though?
I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it.
Yeah. Do you think you ever will go back and finish it?
I will definitely go back and finish it. Yeah.
And what's your favourite game of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Oh Christ! I don't know. My favourite game at the moment is probably either Siege, COD, or FIFA.
See, for me, I don't like football or soccer, so it can't be FIFA for me.
No.
Call of Duty, mate. I've never really played it because I was never really that interested, really.
Or you just weren't very good.
Probably a bit of both, mate. Probably a bit of both. And then, what was the other one you said?
Siege.
I've never played that either. But I don't really. I'm not a big fan of multiplayer games, to be honest with you.
Not?
Not really. I mean, the only multiplayer games I've ever enjoyed is GTA Online and the Elder Scrolls Online, which I used to play.
I'll tell you what, my favourite RPG game probably has to be the Elder Scrolls.
Really?
Definitely.
Which one?
Skyrim.
Yeah. Classic. It's one of my favourite games of all time.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
It just works perfectly.
Yeah. What was the first AC game you played?
Probably the mobile one.
Oh no, but like fully fledged one. Mainline game.
Odyssey.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It has to be. I would love that game.
You did?
I did, yeah.
How old were you when you played it?
A couple of years ago, like 3 years ago.
So how old were you?
Oh god.
Roughly. But so let's just say
14.
you're a young man. You're a young man.
Yeah, I'm 16. Yeah.
And you I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and say you know, you like the pretty colours, you like the slash and the numbers flying everywhere, and that's why you liked it. That's why you liked it, which is fair enough. You enjoy it, you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it. Yeah.
I'm just a broken man inside. I can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy it, but that's fine. Now, let me look at this thing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so basically, again, we'll talk about Assassin's Creed mainly and the main topic of gameplay and that sort of thing. I just don't want to jump straight into that because that's going to be a big conversation. There's a few things I want to get through first. I thought it'd be pretty funny, right, to look through a few articles. Now, I was basically, guys, and you, I was basically just, you know, you look through, like, I don't know if your phone has it, but, like, there's, like, a news section of the home screen, and you can just scroll through.
Yeah.
And, I kept seeing these really funny headlines, and I was, like, laughing, and I was going to read it, and I was like, actually, let's save it for this. Let's save it for the pod. Right. And read it through and see if it's actually quite funny. So I've got the links here, and I can show it on screen for you guys. Oh, that's a really old thing from my old channel thing that I used to do. It always comes up when I. So yeah, we're gonna read through a few. We're gonna start with. Which one do you want to start with? The Pokemon one or the kidnapping one?
Jesus Christ. Let's go with the Pokemon one.
The Pokemon one. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go in order. I have to do it on here because yeah. So, guys, we're gonna read this. It's just gonna be very funny. Now, I'm gonna get this up on screen for everybody to see. F11, where's that? There it is. So we can go full. Shit. Sorry, guys. Is it gonna show? Yeah, let's go, mate.
Have it.
Oh, wait. Why is the camera flipped? Look. We're that way, and then we're the other way around.
Oh no, that's weird.
Wait. I can flip it. Just gotta remember how to do it. Guys, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna flip the camera right now. Transform. Was it flip horizontal? There we go.
Yeah, alright,
There we go.
That's much better.
It feels better, doesn't it? It feels better.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna read through this. So those of you that are watching, let's go. Let's cancel that. An original sealed copy of Pokemon Yellow, worth almost 10,000, has reportedly been ruined by US customs. I read that and I thought it was so funny. I was just imagining you come through the customs and they rip it open to see what it is. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
So I thought we could have a little read. An original sealed copy of Pokemon Yellow is reportedly being wrecked by US customs, meaning it's no longer worth 10,000.
How much is it worth now?
Probably like £2. It could have been in its original condition. This story was originally shared by Stephen Kick, CEO of Night Dive Studios, on Twitter, who said, "Friend of mine received this sealed and graded." I think graded is when they get it sent off to how you know,
it and all that.
and they put a big seal thing around it, don't they? So they probably ripped that open and everything of Pokemon. US Customs broke the acrylic case, ripped and discarded the seal, sliced the front of the box off. Oh my god, that's gotta hurt.
Imagine watching them do it as well.
Well, you wouldn't see them doing it.
What?
US Customs, you don't. No, Customs. When something's been delivered, is basically you order it.
Oh,
yeah. When the company ships out to you, it goes to Customs first.
Yeah.
Customs double check it's not drugs or whatever, and then they carry it onto your house. So he would have just had it arrive all damaged.
Yeah, I thought they were on about like going onto the flight and then.
Oh right, no, I know what you mean. Oh my god, look at it. So it's basically just been ripped open, and so because they had to look in the box to see if it was like there was anything bad in there. That's it. So he spent like 10,000, and he probably couldn't even sell it for £5 or dollars. That's crazy. That is sad. That is sad. Look at it as well. Look at the damage done. That would have been pristine condition since the 90s or whatever. And that hurts. What do you guys think in the chat? Would they have to pay for it? I mean, so they would have already bought the item probably. So they would have.
Customs.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh,
but they would. So hang on. They would have bought the item for 10,000 or however much it was, and then it would have arrived to the house like that. And then they would have found out it was from the customs, so they've already paid for it. So they've lost all their money pretty much. But I wonder if they can maybe say to customs like, you know, you've damaged my whatever. Can you like, you know, not sue them, but like, can you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, customs are probably just gonna say, no, because, you know, you could have had drugs in there.
Exactly.
We have to look. It's not our fault. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But I don't know. It's a weird one. I think that's it, really. To put into perspective, normal copies, they go for, what does it say? Can be sold for a few hundred. So it's still a lot of money.
Yeah, but that's not going for a few hundred. That's probably going for a few p.
Yeah, literally.
Probably, yeah.
So customs won't get in trouble. Yeah, probably not.
It's their job, so no, they probably won't get in trouble.
Yeah. Look at all these ads they have on the screen.
Yeah, there's been a lot of thing about like there was this. Oh, I don't know what it was, but it was like this like truck that you could buy, and I think someone bought two, and they kept one in the box that it came in, and one in the actual packaging. So you can't even see it, and the one in the actual packaging went for more. So because you could literally be a box of anything, but they sold it for more than the one that just had the packaging. You get what I mean?
I'm gonna lie, mate. I didn't really listen to that.
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, okay. Yeah,
I was thinking about this too much, and sorry. But they were probably listening.
They probably were.
The people were listening. You know.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, I apologise. I was trying to. What have I done here?
Oh.
What have I done? Get away! All right, guys. Now let's just read the next article before we get into AC. I want to see if we got 5 people watching still, which is pretty cool, man. 23 views overall, so yeah, people jump in and jump out. That's usually what happens. I think what happens usually with these live episodes is there's a few people in the live, you know, you get to have a chat with some people, but then most of the people watching will watch later on. I think that's the same with most live things. Because, you know, there's probably people at work, probably people at school, whatever, or people that just would prefer to watch it in their own time. They can skip through, that sort of thing. So I get it. The next article is it's about I wanted a romantic jaunt. I got kidnapped and broke up with instead, or something like that. Let's read it. This is pretty cool. We should do this every app if people enjoy it. So we're gonna go back onto the screen so you guys can see. Let me just do that real quick. Now this one is called My Bad Trip. I wanted a romantic jaunt. I got a kidnapping and a breakup. Should have said instead at the end.
Yeah, it was could have been pretty romantic though.
Maybe. I might just move them like this so it could pick up both our voices easier. I was naive and underprepared when I agreed to go backpacking around the South America with my boyfriend. Oh, so she had a boyfriend. Or he had a boyfriend, I don't know. When I was 21, my older boyfriend, that's a weird way to say it, suggested it might be cool to backpack around South America. I naively jumped at the chance of a romantic trip. Backpacking I wouldn't really call romantic.
No,
but
not really.
Maybe if you're with your significant other.
Yeah, it could be. Like, you're exploring the world.
Yeah. And Assassin's Creed Short says, good stream so far. Thank you, my friend.
It's only because of me.
Okay. Alright, whatever. You gonna steal the show?
Yeah.
Next episode is just gonna be the Lewis episode.
Yes, Harry's gonna be gone. Sorry, Harrison.
The Exile.
The Exile.
Alright, where were we? I nearly getting kidnapped, robbed, and dumped wasn't exactly what I envisioned.
Oof.
In my youthful arrogance, I hadn't done much planning. How do we know this story is true? I do wonder sometimes. Is it just fiction for just a good read?
Well, think about it. There's lots of impressive things happening every day, but
like this.
These ones are the ones that have been,
Yeah, well,
shown.
I like to believe it's true at least. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Let us know. I hadn't done much planning, not learned the language. I figured we'd just work out the details together as we went. Then he decided that, as the higher earner, he could afford a longer trip. He headed off and I was to follow, solo, a month later. So what? He went off, so he decided to go, for example, let's just say June. So. Let's say July, and then she joined in August. That makes sense. That's kind of what happened with me. I went travelling for a month, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about that? You must have known I went travelling for a month. It was like 2019. Oh. Yeah, I went travelling for a month with my best mate. And my girlfriend at the time joined in like a week later. And I don't know why let me just tell the story real quick before we go back to the story here. Yeah, so I went travelling for a month with one of my best mates, like my oldest friend for like 10 years. At the time would have been like 7 years. And my girlfriend at the time, who I'd been with for like 2 months, she somehow persuaded me that it would be a good idea for her to come along. Because I really liked her at the time. I was like, I don't want to spend a month without her. Like, it'd be sick if she comes.
Yeah.
And I should have really thought about my mate, because he didn't want to be third wheeling him for a month, does he? And somehow she persuaded me that it would be fine, and I persuaded myself it would be fine, and he's such a nice guy, he was just like, oh, yeah, sure. But deep down, he's probably like, for fuck's sake, are you serious right now?
Yeah. Are you serious right now, bro?
Yeah, literally. Right now. But, so she came along, and it actually did also end in... This is my story that we were reading. It also did end in quite some bad heartbreak. No, not heartbreak, but...
Didn't end up with you being kidnapped, did it?
No, but basically she was a little bit... how to nicely put this? She was very, like, needy and, I suppose, a little bit, and protective of her own sort of... I don't want him doing this, I don't want him doing that, when it's just fine.
Overprotective.
Well, it's just fine.
Yeah.
And that's why I ended up breaking up with her, because I couldn't stand the suffocation, is what it felt like. But anyway, a month before I went travelling, I went to Zante, the like party island, with one of my other mates, and it was his like 18th at the time when we were there, and for his 18th birthday, he really wanted to go into the strip club, right? And I was like, well, who am I to deny his perfect birthday present? I was like, yeah, well, like, I didn't see the issue with going to this strip club, like, when I had a girlfriend. Like, it's not like I'm going to get with all these women. It's just you're going there and you're seeing them do their job and you're having a good time with your friend. And, it's not something I'd want to do, like, all the time, like, go to a strip club or anything. But it was his 18th birthday. He really wanted to do it. Who am I to deny that, It was just me and him. So I was like, yeah, we'll go. So we went to the strip club and nothing happened. Like, we got like these lap dances or whatever. It was pretty crazy, to be fair. But I remember I was 18 and I was I think I was 18 at the time. And I don't know why. I wasn't like, I just got a bit awkward with this girl giving me a lap dance, because I'd never been to one of these strip clubs before, whatever, especially on holiday. And she's dancing on me, right? And I go, right, so where are you from? Where are you from originally? She's like, I am from Athens. And I was like, oh. And then she carried on dancing. She obviously didn't want to talk or whatever. And I was like, so how old are you then? Like, have you done this for a long time? And I don't know what I was doing. Why was I asking her about her career choices?
No, you were not.
Yeah, but then obviously I shut up in the end. when I realised. And then I looked over and I saw my mate like just having the best time. Anyway, that's another story for another day. Also, Assassin's Creed Short says, "Are you guys from England?" Yes, we are. Where are you from? Let us know. Yeah, we're from England. Anyway, at the end of travelling, we ended up for the last few days we went to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And we met up with two different people. The guy that I went on holiday with the month before, and our other mate. So me, my mate, my girlfriend at the time, met up with two of our mates in Amsterdam, and we were all chilling in their hotel room before we went out in the evening. And I can't remember what the conversation was, but we were talking, and then out of nowhere he says, he's mentioned something about strip. Oh yeah, like when we went to the strip club on holiday, and he was like, oh shit. And then because I think most people would not really care. Like if I had a girlfriend and she went to like a male strip club, I wouldn't really care. Like it's just funny, isn't it? But she wasn't like that. She was very like I said she was. So she was like, oh my god. She started crying. She was shouting at me. It was so embarrassing in front of my friends. And then she's like, I'm breaking up with you, this and that. And at the time I was very like when she said, she always used to threaten me with breaking up, and I always used to believe it. Until eventually I got wise to it, and I knew she would never. Yeah. But at this time I wasn't wise to it, and I was really upset and all this, and so I guess it's kind of similar to this story. And in the end, she didn't break up with me. She got over it, and we were cool. And until eventually, about 6 months later, I couldn't stand it anymore. You know, it was too much, so I had to break up with her. And again, that's another story for another day. I don't need to go on about that too much. Assassin's Creed Shorts is from Australia. Oh. Let's go. Sorry, my accent's probably really bad. Let me know. Do I have a good Australian accent? Hey, no wait. Let's go right now. I'm from Australia. I live in Melbourne. Is that right? I'm not trying to be offensive to you. I just genuinely think I have a really good Australian accent.
Yeah, no, we're doing this. We're in town and we're talking about it. And I was like, I have a better one than you. And he was like, "You're not mine." I'm like, oh.
Nah, I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about that one.
No, that was yours, mate.
True. That's true, to be fair. See, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
You're trying too hard,
I know.
That's where you're cocking up and all that.
Yeah, probably. Do you just say cock? Oh. Is that the noise you make? No, I'm joking. Anyway, let's go back to reading this story. This is what we're here for. Then we're going to get into the AC content. Where were we? She was going to join a month later. So they were going backpacking. She was going to join her boyfriend a month after he'd already been there. In Chile, the airport was chaotic. I record the one fact I gleaned from the guidebook I'd only cracked open for the first time on the flight. What? Did I not read that properly? I record one fact I gleaned from the guidebook I'd cracked open for the first time on the flight. Okay. Beware of scammers at Santiago Airport. As taxi drivers thronged around me. It's a weird word. Thronged? I've never heard that word in my life. But I can imagine what it is. No, I imagine it's just people going, you want to get a lift with me? Oh, no, you want one from me? It's probably, like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was on a high alert, but embarrassingly underprepared. Stammering.
He likes your Australian accent.
Decent. Let's go, man. Let's go. I knew my I've lost it.
You just carry on.
Yeah, thank you. He's probably just, to be honest, he's probably just saying out of pity. Yeah, like it's pretty shit.
Probably.
I'll just tell him it's good so he feels good about himself. Well, I appreciate that at least. Anyway, I might just put my chair down a bit. I feel like a bit high up.
Yeah, I'm actually taller than you.
Yeah, you're actually way taller than me. Yeah. Where were we? She goes stammering. It's like that, I guess. No hablo español, no un poco. I guess. Oh, no.
No hablo español, no un poco.
Okay, good Spanish accent. Not even a little. What? Came there.
No, I think that's not.
I speak no English. They say not even a little.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that at all. They would have just spoke English. Like so many people speak English. Anyway, to my relief, a friendly uniformed man appeared. How long is this story? Flashing an official-looking ID and ushering me, in English, towards a taxi, aided by a man who appeared out of nowhere to help with my bags. It was only as I jumped into the back seat that I realised something was up. Both men hopped in too, flanking me, and the driver took off rapidly. Oh. So she got kidnapped! Oh my god.
Dun, dun,
the story is ramping up. What is happening? I yelled. But the three men only laughed and joked to each other in Spanish. They were probably like, no, I'm not being offensive. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I don't know Spanish, so you can use your imagination instead. Trapped, I sat frozen, fearing the worst. We eventually pulled up at a gas station ATM, and I was instructed to empty my bank account if I wished to be returned safely to the city.
Oof.
Having handed over the cash, I was dropped, tearful, in the suburbs, on foot. On foot. It took me 5 hours to find my hostel, where the kind-hearted staff helped me get my money transferred from home. The next leg of my trip was Bolivia, where I would reunite with my boyfriend. Immediately after I landed in La Paz, or is it La Paz?
No idea.
My boyfriend semi-sheepishly announced he'd met another woman, making the 13-hour bus ride together to our next destination rather awkward. He flew off to rejoin her, and I checked into a hostel, crying every night in the shower. No way. Do you believe this? Do you think this is a true story?
Oh, the thing is though, it could be rude.
Oh shit, Jorm the Worm. Hello, my friend. I love Jorm. He's always it.
Is he? Right, mate.
How you doing, man? This is my cousin Lewis. He's joining us today in this episode of Renaissance Radio because he's got stuff to say about Assassin's Creed. So do I. And we're talking right now about this funny article I found. Carry on. Do you think it's real?
Fuck knows.
Yeah.
I don't want to be offensive by saying it's not, because it could have happened, but...
Yeah, the way I see it...
If it didn't happen, then...
It could be... What I imagine is, it's probably maybe a true story, but maybe for the sake of storytelling, it's like details are added and all this, you know what I mean?
It's twisted.
But how crazy is that? She gets kidnapped, or kind of kidnapped, like held hostage until she gives them money.
So, yeah, she wasn't really kidnapped. Oh, no, she was, yeah, but she wasn't kidnapped long time, was she?
Yeah. And then, she gets sent... No, what am I talking about? She goes to her boyfriend eventually in another city, and he goes, "Shit, by the way, I've just met another woman on the abroad, I suppose, and I'm with her now."
The thing is, though,
but
if that's just happened to you, and let's say it happened to you, and you saw your girlfriend,
yeah,
the first thing you would say was, "What happened?"
What do you mean?
As like that, you'd be like, "Oh my god, I just got kidnapped" and all that.
Well, maybe that did happen.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh shit, okay, by the way."
Yeah, no, but who would do that? I don't think anyone would do that.
This guy apparently has.
What a knob.
What a piece of shit, man. Yeah. Doesn't sound real. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It could not be true, but at least it's an interesting story. So, I just can't, but that's crazy. I mean, I understand, sometimes, you know, love is love.
Yeah.
You go on a holiday, you just meet someone, and you fall in love, you know? Maybe that has happened, and maybe it's just so unlikely that, but still it happened, that, she got kidnapped as well. You know, you go to a potentially dangerous area, it could happen. You know, I actually know somebody, one of my friends, went to Naples.
Yeah.
And in Naples, he got basically the same thing. Like,
that seems pretty common.
Yeah, like basically, I've been to Naples as well. It didn't happen to me, but when he went, he was by himself. He probably looked obviously like not a local. You know, he had a big backpack on probably. And somebody came to his hotel room, and he said, "I'm with the mafia. You have to give us money. If you don't, the last guy that stayed in this room was actually stabbed." It's probably just fear mongering, like scaring him. But basically, he said, "Yeah, it is run by the mafia in Naples." So he walked into like the local ATM, like the nearest cash machine, and he had to draw out like, I don't even know, like 140, I think it was, euros, because you know, if they rinse them all of the money, I guess they don't do that, but they get as much money as they can. And he said like, "All right, go back to your room. I'll be back for more tomorrow." So my mate was terrified. He stayed up all night, and apparently he could hear like noises in the night and stuff. But the next day, like as early as he could, he just got up. He went to a nicer area, and he just paid more money in a nicer hotel, and he stayed. And he was fine then. But yeah, that was scary. He messaged me as it was happening as well. He was like, "Shit, I've just been like held like for money, and he said he's coming back. I was like, fuck, oh my god, is he gonna die? Like I didn't know what to do. Like I was like, shit, what can I do? So I said, oh, just keep me updated. And then he messaged me like when he said, oh yeah, I've just gone to a nicer hotel. I think I'll be alright. And he was fine in the end, but
it's good.
It's pretty scary, isn't it? Getting like
robbed.
I
said, oh, wolf.
What? Did you say wolf again?
No, I did not say wolf.
You keep saying wolf.
I say wolf.
You keep going wolf.
I say oof.
Oof. Okay, yeah, sure.
Oof.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I don't. Oh. No, I don't.
You just did it again.
I don't think I could do it. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
You have to give it to them because they might just beat you up or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, not even beat you up. Could like
kill you.
Steal you.
Steal your kidneys, mate. If you don't give them money.
Sell your kidneys.
Yeah, to sell.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the story. I think that's it, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, where were we? Crying in the shower. I was drowning my sorrows with pisco sours in a bar one evening when a charming woman approached me. Soon we were spinning around the dance floor. She leaned in and kissed. This is not true.
No.
She leaned in and kissed me. For a moment, I hoped my heartache was over, but as quickly as she'd appeared, she melted away into the crowd. It turned out she hadn't come into my life to relieve my troubles, but in fact relieve me of my wallet.
No.
I'm not sure how I managed to make it physically unscathed onto my homebound flight from Rio, but needless to say, I returned home to Australia. Hey, Australia. A little bit wiser and a lot poorer. I don't believe that story. I'm sorry. The fact that they just said, oh, and a woman kissed me in the club that I made a friend with and then she robbed me as well. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. It's just too... And then to say, you know what? Let's go on the Daily Mail or whatever it is and turn this into a story. I mean, I know they pay people for really interesting stories, so maybe it's true.
Yeah,
but
you gotta admit
you can make up stories, you know.
Yeah, but
we should do that. We should do that. We should contact publishers, make up the crazy stories, and just get paid for them.
No, because what I'm trying to say is there's 7 billion, 8 billion people in the world. Yeah, this probably did happen to one person.
Maybe it's possible.
It is possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah. Someone says, "Love your channel. I appreciate you." Anyway, people are asking about Assassin's Creed now. Let's just get into Assassin's Creed. That's what we were gonna do. That's what we were gonna do. Anyway, that story. I don't know. I don't know about that, really, bro. I don't know, bro. Anyway, let me just get back onto the right page so I can see what's going on. I got 12 viewers right now. It's like a minute behind, that's why. People see it a minute behind we do. Assassin's Creed Short says, do you think Mirage will be a top 5 Assassin's Creed game? I can't tell you. I honestly don't know. I can't look at that. It's distracting. I can't say, because we've not seen gameplay. We've not seen anything. So I can't say whether it's going to be good, bad, because how can I? That's like basically the same as saying to me, there's going to be another Assassin's Creed game in 15 years. Do you think that would be the best one? Like, I couldn't tell you. Until we actually see something, I can't say. Do I hope it is? Of course. I always hope for a good game, and if it's going to be in the top 5, then that means it's going to be one of the best ones. So, of course, I'm going to hope for that. Yeah. What Assassin's Creed game do you think Mirage will be most like? I think it's going to try and go for that blend of the new with the old. So it's gonna... Sorry, I was just distracted by your coat noises.
Can we take it off?
No, you don't have to. No, it's fine. When I'm talking, I'll just hold it like this, just closer, and then when you want to say, I'll just... It's up to you. You don't have to.
Right, take it off.
Okay. What was I saying? What was I saying?
You're saying that.
Oh, do I think? Blend, yeah. I think it will be a blend of sort of the new style of gameplay with Valhalla. I know you guys are gonna be like, oh no, but I think that is going to be the case with the way it plays, mixed with kind of Unity sort of gameplay with potentially parkour, that sort of thing. And then the vibes, like the sort of aesthetic feelings of the game, I think is going to try and go for AC1. Because
I've got a question.
Now.
Do you think that it'll be more about combat or more about assassination? And do you think do you think the combat will be like Odyssey and Valhalla and all that?
So I think it's going from what kind of we know from information. Again, we haven't seen anything, so it's all hearsay, as they say, until we can see it. But from what we've heard, it's going to focus more on stealth.
Yeah.
So yeah, like assassinations, being an assassin, hiding in plain sight, and so they're probably going to bring back like social stealth, which is blending in the crowds and stuff, and sitting on the benches.
I like that. First one.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a lot more of that. I think combat-wise, it's just going to be the same as Valhalla's. I don't think they're going to overhaul the combat, really. They might add, like, they're adding new tools, like throwing knives again, like they used to in this stuff.
Yeah.
So they might have their own dedicated new system of that sort of combat, if you call it that. But I think when it comes to just fighting with swords and stuff, it's literally just going to be the same as Valhalla. That's what I think. I might be wrong.
You don't think it's going to be like more about fight? Like it's going to have good fight? You think it's going to have good fighting, basically?
I don't think that it will be good fighting.
No.
Not personally. I didn't really enjoy the combat of Valhalla and stuff and Odyssey.
Okay.
Just because it was it was just hack and slash, and it was very. Yeah. It didn't feel very arcadey. You know, it felt very like you're playing an arcade game, like not a game. Not. It didn't seem to fit to me. You know.
No. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Shaw says, "I hope it doesn't have the same controls as Valhalla." Yeah, to be honest, I think it might. You know, I made a video not too long. Well, it was a while ago now. It was called "Will Assassin's Creed Mirage Have Low or High Profile?" Which is, when you're walking, you're in low profile. When you're running, you're in high profile. When you're climbing, you're in high profile. And that would mean bringing back controls such as holding RT to run, that sort of thing. Potentially holding A as well to sprint, but I think it would just be RT. Now, I think I would like that to come back. You know, I think it would make more sense when it comes to the sort of game they're saying they're going to make. That being said, again, I wouldn't be. It's Ubisoft. Usually, from what we've seen in the past, they kind of just they reuse assets. They use what they've already got. If it's easier just to leave the same control scheme as Valhalla, then they'll probably do it. That's what I assume. That being said, there's time before it comes out, and I think you can probably change control scheme even though you've already made the gameplay. So maybe because of their current, downfall, as people are calling it, losing investors and stuff, they might say, we actually need to really go all in on this. So maybe there's a chance they'll then change it to high and low profile, how people want. I don't know. But I guess that can just lead into the main topic of this video, which is going to be why I think we're going to see potentially Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay or new trailers or something within the next month. I've titled it next month, but I would say within the next 3 months, really. But next month, I'd say is fairly likely. Now, the reason I believe this to be the case, and I kind of touched upon this in my last video, was Ubisoft in general. I don't know if you heard, but a lot of their investors are pulling out and they're losing money. The investors are pulling out because their games are not performing as well as projected.
Yeah.
So they'll project a game to sell this amount of copies, do this amount of money, and they're not hitting that. And the investors are saying, well, why am I? You've promised this to me. I've put my money into your company, and now you're not delivering. And so they pull out, and then they lose more money, less sales, less investors, less money overall. So it's not looking good for them right now. Now, I don't know whether it's going to be the end for them, because I feel like Assassin's Creed Mirage is now basically going to be their saving grace, as they say. It's going to be the game that they're relying on now, because it's their most popular series, in one of the most popular game series of all time, and it's just by the name alone, it's guaranteed to sell. So I believe that is why they're going to show a new sort of a re-reveal soon, I think.
And you always want to end like a trilogy on a high, don't you?
What do you mean by trilogy? Because they're going to keep releasing games.
You're joking.
Well, they've already announced like 3 more after Mirage. Do you not know that?
No.
You don't know? You're not a nerd. You're not a nerd like me.
What's it? Project Red.
Yeah, so you do know Project Red, but they'll be years down the line. But so that the series is only going to keep getting bigger from here. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is another discussion.
It'll probably be like an offcut though, as like you got the main storyline. And you got like
but there is no main storyline anymore, is there? The main storyline ended with AC3 when Des. I can't spoil it for him. I don't think he's played that through those games.
No.
Okay, I'm not. I stopped myself there. You're lucky. When that story wrapped up, involving Desmond, is what I was going to say. after that, there was no main overarching storyline. It was just, you're an assassin in this story, this happens, and then it kind of stopped being you're an assassin. It's just, now you're a mercenary in the times way before the assassins even came around. And what is it to do with Assassin's Creed now? Not too much, you know. And then they kind of tried to bring back an overall story with bringing a new modern day protagonist called Layla, which she started off being a pretty empty, boring character, and they only kind of made her interesting in Valhalla, but now she's gone. So it was kind of like, it could have been good, but so maybe they are going to continue the modern day with what's going on at the end of Valhalla with the last chapter, which people watching probably know. So they're trying to bring back an overall story, but I think after Mirage it might just wrap up that as well, and then these AC Infinity new games coming will just be their own, probably no modern day, just be their own thing. I don't know. Anyway. Assassin's Creed Short says, have you seen the Assassin's Creed mobile gameplay leak? What's that, AC Jade? Yeah, honestly, mate, it looks awful. It looks awful. I'm saying it looks awful. I think I talked about this in my the last podcast episode, actually. It looks bad because I talked about it in depth in the last episode. I won't talk about it too much today, but it looks just like an Odyssey clone, you know? It's going to be free to play, so it's going to have loads of microtransactions, and it's going to be... It's not me. It's not for me. It's not for me. Let's just say that. I mean, Chinese history is so interesting, but I don't know if they're going to execute that well enough in a mobile game. When's the Mirage release date? My last video, I talked about how it potentially leaked on the internet. It could be June 30th, but that could also be a placeholder date that a lot of retailers are using. So it's going to be between June and August, I'd say. Now, getting back into what I was saying, why I think we're going to see gameplay soon. Again, they're losing money, they're losing investors, they're basically worrying at this point probably, how are we going to make a lot of money quick? You know what we can do? Let's boost our pre-orders for AC Mirage. What we can do by that is we can show a new trailer, maybe a story trailer. Maybe we haven't shown anything since September when it was announced. We can kind of do a soft sort of re-announcement. So they show a new CGI trailer, then maybe they show in-footage gameplay, which they should really do. I don't care about CGI at this point. They hey Dan Nerd, how you doing, my friend? He's from last episode. He joins. Sorry, I can't speak. I'm talking too fast. Good to see you. Sup? How's your day? My day is good, thank you. How is your day? Let us know. This is Lewis. He's joining me today.
Hello.
If you want to know why he's here, you can rewind to the beginning if you want. Where was I?
You're talking about like boosting the pre-orders.
Yeah. So I think what better way to boost our pre-orders, get us a lot of money quick to kind of level us out until the release of Mirage. Let's show some gameplay to really get people interested in the game again. Because people are hyped up, but it's kind of, the hype is dying down a little bit, and I can see that because my videos still do well, but I haven't got much to say when there's no news. So there's gonna be less hype because less people are talking about it. So they're going to think, let's show some gameplay, let's show a new trailer, maybe we'll even give a release date, which is why maybe the leak of the release date that I made a video on recently could be true, because it coincides with them telling retailers it's coming out now beforehand so they can get things ready. So I feel like they're going to release a trailer within the next month or so as a safety net for them as a company. Yeah. We're going to get... Probably our pre-orders might go up by 100 and whatever % when we release these trailers, this gameplay presentation. We're gonna have all these YouTubers talking about it again. Yeah, that's gonna give us more hype, more talk within the community, more popularity, more clicks, and overall that's gonna make them more money in lots of ways. So I think that's gonna be the case, and then I think. I don't think we'll see too much. I don't know. I think if they are still worrying, they might have a massive marketing campaign. That being said, marketing campaigns cost a lot of money. So if they don't have that much money right now, or they're trying to make money, not spend a ton of it, the AC Mirage might not have that much of a marketing campaign, which would be, showing lots of different trailers for it on the internet, doing it as ads. Yeah. You're going through Instagram or Snapchat, and then you see an AC Mirage ad in between or something. Seeing it on buses, there might not be that much of that, but I do think I do think there'll be lots of trailers or at least a gameplay reveal within the next couple months, again, for their own safety.
What if they don't release it, or they're not releasing it because it's not, like the old style?
So you're saying, what if they know it's not what the fans are expecting?
Yeah.
And but at the same time though, it's like, what can you do at that point if you've made a game and it's that far along in development? From what we understand, that it can't really be changed that much. What are you gonna do? Just never announce it, never show it? No, like
no. And as long when they release it, they'll be like, "Oh, it's finally out. We don't know what we're hopping into," and they, everyone buys it, pre-orders it. But if they do it and do like the gameplay trailer, and it's not what everyone's expecting, then they might
I know
not
what you're
buy it.
saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. I don't think so though, because at the end of the day, even though people might be disappointed when they see gameplay and stuff, it will still excite people more than it does disappoint people, because there's a lot of people that did actually really enjoy Odyssey, enjoy Valhalla. So if it does have that style of gameplay, there is going to be people that are excited, and I do think they're going to try and balance what the new with the old. It's gonna have that aesthetic of the old. You're a robed assassin with a hidden blade, you're sneaking around, you're in a city, but then it's gonna have that more modern style of gameplay. So it kind of appeals to a broader audience, I suppose you could say. So I don't think they're going to be scared of showing gameplay. I just think they're probably trying to think about the right time to do it now. And maybe the reason they haven't showed us gameplay so far, and it's been a long time, it's usually we should have seen gameplay by now if it was another company, Maybe behind the scenes they knew they've been tanking in their sales for a while, and that's why they haven't shown it. They've been trying to wait for the perfect time, maybe. So again, between now and June, that's 6 months. I think within the next month, 2 months, 3 months, we are going to see gameplay. I think it just makes sense. That's going to be the case. So yeah, that is why I think we will see gameplay. I think it's a strong possibility. It could be like next month or something. But I'm going to be bit more broad and say it could be between now and April. Let's say now and April. But April would be a bit too close to release, I think personally. So I think it'd be now and Easter. I'd say something like that, which might be April. I don't actually know. Tom, how you doing, man? He says, "Is YouTube your job?" No, it's really not. You know how much YouTube pays me? It paid me £80 this month, which is good. It's a bonus. I'm not going to complain, but it's definitely not enough to pay the bills, No, I don't. 1,000 views. So if I understand it, if you're not in with YouTube and you don't know how much money people make, 1,000 views probably looks like you're going to make a lot of money, but 1,000 views is probably like 80 pence for me. So if I'm getting like however many thousand views a month, then it's not going to equate to tons of money. Hopefully one day though, I'd love this to be a job one day because it's very fun and I put a lot of work into it. So hopefully
like
one day.
Puzzle, isn't it?
For me at the moment, it's just kind of passion and creativity, and I enjoy putting some creativity into stuff. And obviously, I have a lot to say about Assassin's Creed and games in general. But I do think when Assassin's Creed Mirage comes out, I do think I'm going to end up doing pretty well, just because it kind of makes sense. If I'm doing pretty well now without any news, imagine when the game comes out and I stream it at the minute it comes out, because I'm going to pre-install it. I'm going to stream it at 12 p.m. when it comes out. I'm going to do all that. Or whatever time it comes out in England. I feel like that could do really well. I'm gonna play it. So I'm gonna dedicate a week just to playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm gonna find out all the secrets first. I'm gonna make all these videos about it. That's got to do well, surely.
It has to.
It's got to do well, and I'm gonna enjoy doing it. So you guys can look forward to that. So no, YouTube is not my job. However, it does make me a little bit of extra money here and there. But that's it. So I actually do have obviously I work in other stuff. I work somewhere. I won't say where. I work somewhere. And I also I'm a freelance video editor, so I do videos. I edit videos for different companies, for like their online websites, for promotion for them, stuff like that. So I do. I guess you could say 3 things: YouTube, video editing stuff, and another thing that I do. Again, I won't say where that is. Oh, Dan, how you doing? My going good. I assume you meant I'm doing good or something. Sorry, but I can't stay. Oh my god, I'm blind again.
I can't stay at school. I'll watch the stream later.
I think he was typing fast because he's in his lesson or something. Yeah, you're in your lesson. You type fast. Yeah, no worries, my friend. I appreciate you dropping by anyway. Yeah, I reckon you could get millions of views from Mirage releasing. Mate, I'm going to be humble, and I was thinking tens of thousands, but if you're saying millions, I'm not going to say no. Hopefully, I do believe that if you work at something enough and you enjoy it enough, you know, there's enough like passion in what you do. I do believe you can just, you know, succeed like succeed in a way that exceeds your expectations. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I don't know. I'd love to do it for like a job and make a decent amount of money from it and stuff. But I'm just kind of enjoying the ride at the moment, the journey at the moment. You know, like this is fun. Yeah, this is really enjoyable. There's people I'm chatting to. I'm getting to know people and stuff. And I've spoke to a few people in the, you know, who have similar sized channels to me that also make Assassin's Creed content. And you know, I'd love to do stuff with them in the future and stuff like that as well. There's this guy that comments. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get it wrong, and I know it, I can see it in my mind, but I don't know, it's like a funny word, and I don't want to say it wrong, but there's this guy that comments on my videos every now and then, and he also has made a few good videos, and that's done decent views as well. I think he's got less subscribers than me, but he's got some views that, like videos that have done really well views-wise. Did like a Valhalla review, you know, like a retrospective review on it. He's done some other stuff, and I might, you know, I'd like to do something with him potentially in the future. Maybe get him on one of these or something. You know, get him to call in. I don't know. Again, I haven't really spoke to him about that, so maybe I'll message him. And there's been a few other people. Got to go. Love the stream. No worries, my friend. Thank you for joining Assassin's Creed Shorts. I'm guessing you make Assassin's Creed Shorts. I should check them out sometime. See you later. But yeah, we got to keep talking about Assassin's Creed Mirage. Yes. So what do you think about that? Do you think I'm onto something with when gameplay might come out? Yeah.
I think because you know they are pulling out, so I think it makes sense, doesn't it? Because
I mean, logistically, statistically, or whatever for them. Yeah,
I think it makes sense, and I think it's a very good, you know, observation and all that, and you know, making some good points.
Yeah. I think it has to be the case for them, because I'm thinking, if you put yourself in the shoes of you're releasing Assassin's Creed company and people pulling out, you're losing money.
But I've still got a lot of it.
Yeah, true. If you are, but you know, they don't think about to them it has to be the most amount of money all the time. And if you're performing bad now and you keep performing bad, that could get even worse. So you are going to start to worry. And if it was me, I would think, all right, what can I do now? What do I have that I can use to sort of keep myself afloat, I suppose, and keep making money and kind of balance stuff back out? I'd say, well, Assassin's Creed is my next really popular game that everyone loves. I'm gonna have to show something about that, and I think it just makes sense to me. Makes sense. And I guess we could talk about what gameplay do I think we will see. Like what? Excuse me, I've got indigestion. I suffer really bad from indigestion. It's really annoying. Just want to see how many people are watching. We have 88 views so far. 7 viewers right now. We've had a lot of talk in the chat. It's going pretty well. Anyway. What was I saying? Keep distracting myself. What do I think we will see? I think what I think we should see. What we should see is maybe it doesn't have to be a long gameplay presentation. Maybe just a 5-minute gameplay presentation. You know, something to show to back up their claims that it is going to be a proper Assassin's Creed game. And obviously I believe that it's not just gameplay that makes a good Assassin's Creed game a good Assassin's Creed game. It comes with story as well. It comes with, you know, the world and stuff like that. But, you know, we need to see that. I feel like we should see maybe 5-minute gameplay presentation and then a 1-minute sort of story trailer, you know?
Yeah.
You know how the little story trailers where it's kind of just like a movie trailer where they show cutscenes, they kind of give you an idea of the characters, the story, without giving too much away. I feel like they should show a short story trailer, and they should show maybe a 5-minute to 10-minute gameplay presentation. That's going to sort of get a lot of people interested again. That's going to give a lot of people like me more content to make, which is good for them, because the more people are talking about it, the more pre-orders they're going to make. Like, as much as I say to people, don't pre-order the game until you've seen gameplay so you know whether it's something you want to like put your money into or not, I'm sure people have probably watched some of my videos and then decided to go and pre-order it, you know? So imagine if we see gameplay, I say, wow, it looks amazing, and then people agree, and then they go see gameplay. You know, it is gonna boost pre-orders.
Yeah.
Like, as I don't pre-order games until like the day before the game comes out, so that I still get potential bonuses for pre-ordering, and I get to pre-install it a day before usually. But I usually just do it the day before. That's usually just what I do. But if I saw gameplay and I was so like shocked by how good it looked, it might even make me want to pre-order it. Who knows? Who knows? So, and that's me coming. That's coming from somebody who's skeptical with the Assassin's Creed series these days because of how I've been let down with the last few games. So they can win a lot of people over with gameplay, with a trailer, with anything new. They will win a lot of people over, and it's overdue. It's long overdue. At this point, it should have been shown a long time ago. But, you know, let's take into account, okay, they've had these issues with sales and investors for a while, probably longer than we've known about it. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say they were in a sticky situation. They didn't want to commit to a big marketing campaign or showing stuff off when stuff was a little bit undecided, a bit more up in the air. Maybe now we're hearing about it. It's maybe leveling out a bit more. They've got a few more investors that kind of want to try and help them, because I'm sure there's people who have really rich and they think, well, you know, I do actually love that company. I don't want to see them go bankrupt. So you know what? I will invest. You know, there might be people like that. Obviously, you can also take into account investors might have been leaving because of their sort of unfixed allegations of sexual misconduct. I don't know if you know about that or not, but I won't go into too much detail today because I feel like if you want to talk about that, it's got to be its own thing. But you know, there was a lot of allegations of, you know, sexual assault and stuff like that within the company.
Jesus.
With these high up ranking people that work there. And, you know, it came out, and it wasn't just one person, it was a lot of people that came out and said, you know, anonymously and stuff, that this is what happened to me, this is my story. And, you know, Ubisoft eventually said something because they kind of had to, and they said, oh, we're really sorry about this, you know, we want this to be a safe working environment. But what they did is a lot of these people that were accused, they didn't fire them, they just made it look like they weren't working there anymore by moving them around in the company. So yeah, they're not working in this department anymore, but they're actually in a different department and they're still there. They kind of so the CEO of Ubisoft was kind of protecting these people, or at least that's how it looked. So there's all of that, which potentially could have led to investors leaving because they think, well, I don't want to be involved in this, or I disagree with this morally, so they leave. And so Ubisoft didn't really do anything about it, and for some reason they kind of just got a pass. You know, like a lot of people didn't really end up talking about it. People just kind of carried on talking about their games, and this and that, and they didn't really, you know. And I think it's fine to talk about Ubisoft and their games, but you should also, you know, make your viewers aware of the potential bad things the company do as well. And not, you know, there's a lot of people out there that, and I won't specifically name any, but there's a lot of like people on YouTube who are big, who never acknowledged these allegations at all and carried on saying, you know, Ubisoft are great, Ubisoft are this, Ubisoft are that. Whereas like, yeah, I get it, because you make a ton of money, you don't want to jeopardize your own career, which I get to an extent, but for me personally, I cannot be silent about that. I'd have to say something, which is why I'm saying it now. And anyway, leading into the conversation we're having, maybe that's why potentially again investors have pulled out. But I'd say it's probably mainly sales. But in the last year or two, they might have pulled out because of that as well, and it could have been an ongoing decline for the last few years that we just didn't know about, perhaps. Eduardo Perez says, "Do you think we will get a Bayek sequel?" Now, if you don't know, Bayek was the main protagonist of Assassin's Creed Origins, and he was a good character. You know, he was a good. You know, say what you will about the game, I do think it was a good game, and I think he was a good character. I don't. I know. I feel like the way the series is at the moment, I don't think we'll get a sequel, because for some reason Ubisoft seem to not bother with giving their good character sequels anymore. You know, they set them up, they give them a good plot, they give them a good character development, and then it just kind of gets thrown away, you know? Like with Arno as well. Arno was a great character with Unity.
Yeah, I like Arno.
Yeah, you know, he started out as a bit of a dick, but then he ended up getting a bit more humble, and then obviously I won't say what happens at the end in case you haven't finished that.
Oh, no. Actually, I'm not far from finishing it. You know?
Okay, I won't say, but, you know, something, you know, by the end of the story, and if you go into the DLC, he's a very much a changed man. He's a lot more... I would almost go as far as to say he's pretty depressed, to be honest. But it's good to see that evolution of character. And we never really got to see a continuation of that, and I think it was a missed opportunity again with Bayek. He was a great character. Okay, it was the origin to the Assassin Order, and we got to find out what it was, and it was a good story, I thought. But it could have been explored, with him or with Aya, which was his wife, who it turned out Aya was actually one of the most famous assassins which you hear about in Assassin's Creed 2, Amunet. I know everything about Assassin's Creed, trust me. Test me, I will know it. Which a lot of people say that character was a bit of a letdown in the end, stuff like that. But like, what I'm saying is it could have gone on to do a lot of good stuff. Like, he could have then gone to ancient Rome from ancient Egypt, because the end of Origins, you actually go to ancient Rome to assassinate Julius Caesar. Is it to assassinate him? Or yeah, it is. So it could have been a lot of stuff, a lot of missed opportunity, really. I'd say mainly with Arno and Bayek. But that being said, with Assassin's Creed Infinity being the live service coming in the next few years, and they're releasing all their games through there, and it's going to be a lot of different stories, maybe then you have the possibility of them bringing back these characters, bringing back Arno, bringing back Bayek for their sort of new stories. Now, if the writing's good, then that could be good, but you could say that about anything. If the writing's good, yeah, sure, it'll be good, but if the writing's bad, then it's going to be bad. But obviously, as a story, that's what I mean, as a character.
So, with the story, because
Yeah.
the first Assassin's Creed game was about being an assassin, wasn't
Yeah.
it? But then you got stuff like Odyssey, Valhalla, and all that. That's not about being an assassin. So, do you think they're going to take it back to being an assassin?
I think some games will, some games won't. I think they're going to look at Mirage's sales and they're going to say, well, how well did this game perform? If it performed really well, then okay, we have a reason to sort of hone in more on the assassins and stuff.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't, they'll think, well, Valhalla sold better, so we can just do Epic Warrior again. You know what I mean? And that's not the way to look at it, in my opinion.
I think they could do that as a different game.
Well, they should really.
Instead of
Yeah,
like an Assassin's Creed game.
a lot of people have said, and I do agree, but I do get why they didn't do it. They should have called it Valhalla, an Assassin's Creed story or something like that. So it's not Assassin's Creed, but it's in the same universe, and it has this modern day stuff, and it has this, but it's not about an assassin, so it's not Assassin's Creed. And I get that, but obviously, for the sake of making a lot of money, they want to put Assassin's Creed as the title. That's another conversation, but I think some of the games will focus on assassins potentially in the future, and I think some games will also not, because we know with Codename Red, the one being in Japan, that game is going to focus on sort of samurai and ninjas and stuff.
Yeah.
Ninjas, you could think, well, assassins the ninjas could have actually been assassins, the way they kind of play with history to fit in the assassins, and that would make a lot of sense. At the same time, we also know it's developed by the same team that developed Odyssey, and it's going to be an RPG game, or RPG style, because they're not really RPGs, but so that doesn't bode well, because they only made, I think, Odyssey, because they have different teams of Ubisoft that make different Assassin's Creed games, and the team in Ubisoft that made Odyssey also made Syndicate, I think, which, in my opinion, was also a very bad game. So it doesn't bode well personally for me, because it's just going to probably be another Odyssey, another running around an empty map, another sailing around the shores with nothing much to do, with a load of grinding for leveling up and XP and stuff like that, a lot of fighting, slashing, a lot of mythical flaming weapons and riding unicorns, and I get that in a game that is made for that, but that's not Assassin's Creed, and
Assassin's Creed's very down to earth, isn't it?
Well, when it comes to its history, obviously it's not true history, because you have the Assassin Order was not around after. It was true in Assassin's Creed 1, but after that, the Assassin's Order died out, but they kept it going for the story, and obviously the modern day and the the ones who came before and all that isn't true, but the true story it's revolved around was grounded, was realistic, was true, like in Assassin's Creed 2, like or Brotherhood and all that, with the Renaissance Italy. It was a true sort of telling of history, and you'd meet characters that were real people. Whereas now it's, there was not much room for mythical flaming unicorns and minotaurs and stuff like that. And, so I think the Japan game will be more like that. Just kind of like, it's going to be a reskin of Odyssey, I think. It's just going to be Odyssey Japan, I think it's going to be.
In Unity, there was Napoleon, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was. See, that's what I mean. There was characters all throughout, and I won't deny. In Odyssey, they did have real life characters. Like I think. Well, I don't think it was Pythagoras, was it? But it was one of those. I forget. They had a lot of. But again, and I'm not saying Assassin's Creed has to have famous figures in it to be what it is. That's not what it is. That was kind of just a backdrop. And again, I think that this is something separate. But I think that's why Syndicate I didn't like too much, because they would make these reveals of these famous real life characters a big deal. Like, you'd meet Charles Darwin, and a massive thing would come up on screen. Charles Darwin. It's like, I don't know. It's just, it wasn't about that with the older games. It was more about, like, they would be there, and it would be a bit more, I guess you could, subtle, a bit more nuanced. Like, they were there, but they weren't a massive part of the story. They were just, that was just an interesting thing. Like, oh, Ezio actually met Medici. He actually met this guy. He met this guy. He actually fought with the Borgia family. Like, it wasn't this massive thing. It was, well, the Borgias, I suppose, was a big part of the story. But, smaller characters, it was a lot more. It just kind of rooted the character into the history. Like, they were this well-established person in their time period who knew these people. So having these people that existed in real life sort of solidified that as, this is a character who we can immerse ourselves in the story and imagine he was really there. Whereas in Syndicate, when it was having these big names show up, it was kind of more of sort of a factor of, like, how, what's the word? A something factor. I don't know. But they were trying to make it this big sort of aspect of the game, like these famous people. But then it kind of just took away from the characters that you're playing as. Anyway, that's kind of a different story to talk about here. Let's have a look at the chat. I just hope the story links. I guess Andrew, you mean sort of with modern day, with an overarching story that kind of goes on in the future from Mirage. I mean, I would agree with you. Especially with modern day. It's good to have something that goes on, something that when the next game comes out, we can look forward to and have a cliffhanger and be like, wonder what's going to happen next time. Because that's what the older games did really well. Like, when I was young, I was waiting every year for the next game. I remember when AC2 ended, it ended on a massive cliffhanger, and AC Brotherhood picked up right from there. And it was like the moment it ended, you pick up from there. And it's really? And then with Brotherhood ending, this massive thing happens, and you just couldn't wait to the next year or the next year after that to find out what's going to happen next. And then after kind of AC3, it stopped doing that. And it was just its own thing, which again, it's fine, but it's not, you didn't really have something to really look forward to as much as you did. Eduardo says, we need more Assassin stuff. Of course, we're playing an Assassin's Creed game. You would think you would have Assassins in that game.
Yes.
Valhalla tried to do that and tried to make you think it had Assassins in there by having Basim, who was going to be the main character of Mirage, as a character. It was an older Basim. This is going to be more of a prequel to a story. But, go on.
Yeah, because isn't Odyssey and Valhalla linked?
Not really.
No, because Cassandra and all that. She was
they did a little DLC thing where...
Was that DLC?
Well, it was just an update with an extra story where she meets Eivor, and I didn't play it, so I don't know what happens with that, because I thought, that is just fuck off now.
No, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's stupid.
For young, like, let's say a young kid plays it, they're going to love that. Let's say someone who doesn't really care about the series plays it, they might like that. But for me, who likes the series for why I like the series, that to me was just embarrassing. So yeah, I guess you could say a link, but like not really linked, not properly.
No.
Not in the way that they used to be linked story wise. And and I'm not saying a Mirage has to then continue on in the next game. If it's a good game in of itself, then I'll be happy with that. If the story is good, the gameplay's good, the characters are good, the world is good, the modern day is good as well, then that's fine. Maybe Mirage is the last good Assassin's Creed game, if it is good. Or maybe it'd be one of the many bad ones to come in the future. Who's to say?
Never know.
Yeah. But because probably some new people have jumped in and haven't heard much about what we've said in the title, I guess we could just quickly go back to, gameplay release date and stuff like that. But is there anything you wanted to mention before we do that?
Not particularly, no.
No, fair enough. I guess what else could we kind of talk about that with gameplay? What do I think we will see gameplay-wise? I think it will be, as I said, a kind of like a 5-minute presentation. I think it will show kind of social self within the world.
Yeah.
I think it will show Basim kind of walking through the streets of Baghdad, maybe doing some pickpocketing if they have that, maybe doing a bit of parkour. They'll really want to show off parkour if it is kind of going to be like Unity again. I know for a fact if they show parkour, people will go crazy if it's good. So they'll show a bit of parkour. Maybe they'll show a viewpoint, you know, jumping into the hay. If they do a viewpoint, you get a big panoramic of the city. I'm imagining it in my head right now, and it looks fucking sick.
Yeah, I was imagining it as well.
Whether she's going to be sick or not, I don't know. I'm imagining the city. It's getting me really excited right now.
Yeah. I was as well. I was like,
yeah, I'm imagining because the city, like let's go up some images of what Baghdad looked like, ancient Baghdad. Because it did look like an amazing city. It was the biggest city in the world at this time.
Was it?
Baghdad. Ancient. Just type in that and then we'll go images and I'll show the stream as well. So this is what it looked like. This is what Baghdad looks like in, let me full screen it real quick. I full screened that by accident. Hang on. There we go. This is Baghdad. It was a big round city. And, this is in the city of Iran, I think. Iran. And I'm actually going to be making some videos on the history of Baghdad. I did do one, actually. I'm going to do another one soon, before the game comes out. So it was this massive... Oh, that must have been it in its early stages when it wasn't busy, when it wasn't packed at all. So it looks like they started... You'd think they'd start on the inside and work their way out, wouldn't you? But that's how big it ended up becoming. Jesus, and that's ancient Baghdad. So think about how big this city's going to be, and we do know that it's going to be some surrounding areas you can explore as well, probably like these areas, but mostly you're going to be exploring a massive city like kind of in Unity, like in the older games. So imagine you do it in the gameplay presentation. You climb up around here on a building. You're on a big temple building. You stand on the viewpoint. It goes wah, 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 and it's like panning around, and you just see a massive city. Yeah, that would be sick.
Like right in the centre, that would be.
Yeah.
On the very tip, 'cause that looks like that. There you go. It looks like.
Yeah. Like you climb one of these.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
A massive city and all that.
Like, look at this. I've actually used this artwork in one of my videos actually a while ago. So, I think they're going to show off the city. I think they're going to do this. Let's go back to thing. And then I think they're gonna then want to show sort of they're bringing back black box missions, which was in Unity, you know, like when you infiltrate the Notre Dame Palace and you assassinate that guy. You know, it's like you assassinate a target, you enter a building, you find a different way to get in. There's different methods of killing him and all this. They're bringing that back, which is really good to hear. So I think they're going to show off that too, because again, that's something that shows gameplay. It shows the world. It shows characters. It shows kind of brings all the best of everything and brings it together, and that's going to be really good for a presentation. So I think it'll show that. It will show that. I think that will kind of just be what they show for a gameplay presentation. And then I think potentially they'll show a story trailer to go along with it, so that you get gameplay and you get story, and then you get everybody gassed up to pre-order, give a load of money. So I think that's what it's going to be. The ones who came before, the thing compelling to me, even though it's their own take on it, the idea of a civilization that came before and passed on knowledge in many different cultures, I guess you're saying that's really interesting. Yeah, I always found that really interesting, because you can even think about real history and think, maybe that happened. Who knows? There's loads of evidence that there was perhaps a more ancient civilization before us. Maybe they wouldn't have had all the technology they had, but maybe maybe we're more advanced than they would have been now. We are more advanced now than they would have been back then, but they were there's still evidence that there was a more advanced civilization before our recorded history. So who knows? Maybe it happened in real life, and yeah, it is really, it's so cool. Like, if you like that stuff. I'm convinced the series needs a story master, so to speak, someone who can give the story coherence, and give a thumbs up on what can and can't fly in games. I agree with that, like a lore master. Do you know what I mean by that? Like somebody that kind of their job isn't to make the game. Their job is to look at all the lore, like at all the story of what's already been said and created, and then they create the lore going on from there, and they keep it. It all makes sense. So it can't contradict each other, because then somebody who's making the game says, "Oh, well, in the story, we really want to do this." They'll go to the story master, the lore master, and they'll say, "Can we do this? Will it make sense?" And he can look at his all of what he knows and say, or she, and say, well, that will work. Yeah, that can work because of this, but that part you want to do won't work because it won't make sense because of what this happened, and it keeps things making sense, and it also it keeps stories again, like they said in the chat, cohesive. You know, it can actually be a continuation like it used to be, and yeah, I agree. They do need that because they don't have that right now, and you know, Odyssey, Origins, Valhalla was so kind of. There's one thing, and then they skip a load of time and there's this thing, but then this doesn't make sense, and it's like, when it has different development teams, different people, I get it, you're bound to have a few different discrepancies or deviations that you might not have meant to have, so if you have this one person that can oversee everything, it will make the stories better. Bro, I recently finished up to Revelations and started playing AC3. What's your guys' favourite game in the series? Personally, mine is Brotherhood. What's yours favourite? I know we did talk about this earlier.
It has to be either but now that I remembered about Unity, it has to be probably Unity.
Oh, really? I thought you said you weren't a big fan of Unity.
No.
I thought you said, you
Origins.
weren't getting on with it. Oh, no, my bad.
No, probably Origins.
Yeah. I'd say my favourite, I know my favourite is Revelations, just because of the sort of the wrap up of that story, Ezio's story, and it's also the wrap of Altair's story, and it links so nicely, and it's very like profound sort of thing, like it's very what do you call it, just a really nice wrap up of that story, and they do a lot of good stuff with it. Also a different sort of take on modern day they had with that one in a way, and it was just that even when I played that when I was, how old would I have been when I played that? 10 or 11, you know, I could still appreciate the story for what it was, and it still gave me the feels when I played it, you know. And when I hear that soundtrack, bro, you can't play me that soundtrack, I'll die inside, like I'll cry of happiness. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I think
nostalgia
when yeah, like there's this one song, I think it's called like, what's Altair's son's name? It's Altair's son and Altair, like that's the title of the song. And when it plays, I swear on my life, you might think I'm like a pussy or whatever, but I listened to it on my headphones like a few months ago, and like I didn't even know it was gonna happen. Like tears were just coming down my face. I'm not even lying to you. And it was, sometimes music can just do that.
It does, yeah.
And I think because that connection that music has to the game itself, and the way I feel about that game is why I feel so strongly about the music. Because I think AC Revelations also had the best soundtrack in some of like all games, you know. I'm not saying it has had the best ever, but it's got one of the best soundtracks. It's amazing, and I think in Assassin's Creed it has the best soundtrack in an Assassin's Creed game. Alright, so yeah, bro. Anyway, what I was saying was Revelations is my favorite. And so anyway, Andrew, have you played up to AC3 and you haven't played any since? Like, you haven't played any after that? Are you playing it in order? Let me know. Oh, yours is Brotherhood. Yeah, Brotherhood's a great game. I'd say probably Brotherhood's my second favourite after Revelations. Or would I say 2? I mean, Brotherhood was a better game overall in terms of gameplay, in terms of building on what was already there and making it better. But for the sake of AC2 kind of doing that from AC1 and being the first game to really bring a lot of people into the series and introduce Ezio, I probably would say 2 was my favourite after Revelations. But, you know, I get it. What do you guys think of Unity's parkour versus the older games? To me, it looks flashy but inconsistent, and seems like there's not as much skill. There's not as much of a skill factor. Like AC1 is surprisingly in depth. Yeah, I've actually talked about that. I'd be interested to know your opinion from someone who's not as involved in it as me. For me, actually no. Let me hear yours first.
So
your sort of take on that.
I quite enjoyed the the parkour in Unity, and I thought it was quite well. Like smooth, everything worked together. It wasn't like jittery. But in AC1, you're gonna hit me.
No judgment.
It was really slow and everything. But the more I played it, and the more I got used to it, the better the parkour was in the other games.
Yeah.
So somewhat what I said was like. AC1, I just didn't like the parkour, but as I played it more, I quite enjoyed it.
I get you. So
like there's little tricks and everything. It's really
in
good.
Unity.
No, in AC1.
Oh, in AC1, yeah.
Different things that they don't teach you that you find out
you
yourself.
know, you know about that.
Yeah, like when you run up the wall and you jump off.
Oh, back eject. So, well, yeah, but it's even more in depth. The AC, I don't know if I told you, but you can like do vaulting and like sliding over things and stuff, which it doesn't teach you. You have to like perfectly do like B and A while you run at the same time.
Really?
And yeah, it's this thing. It never teaches you at all, and it's quite hard to master. And it was probably one of the most in-depth systems just because of that. I agree with you on some points, but I'll tell you what my opinion on that. I just want to hear yours first. So, I personally believe, and again, you know, my most popular video goes in detail on this. I think Assassin's Creed, the older, like the Ezio collection, let's say that the Ezio collection of games, I think had better parkour than Unity. Yeah, Unity's parkour, it looked way better. It felt more satisfying. Let's say when you were flying across the rooftops of Paris, but it didn't have the it was not as in-depth and streamlined. Streamlined's probably not the word, but like it wasn't as it felt smoother, but it wasn't as in-depth as the Ezio games, and you didn't have as much control. So with the Ezio games, you could back eject, you could side eject, you could cancel, you know, your climbing by back ejecting or jumping or whatever, and you had a lot more control of which direction you wanted to go. Whereas with Unity, it looked cool, it felt good, but once the animation is kind of playing of you climbing, he's running, he's crawling, he's scrambling, and you don't get that control.
I've always found it.
You can't back eject really. You can't cancel out. If you want to jump this way, you might, but you might fly off the other way, and you just don't get that control.
I've always found that with all of them.
What do you mean?
Like you can't control where you're going.
Well, in the older games, if you know what you're doing, you can.
Yeah.
And people always say, well, you just don't have the skill with AC Unity's parkour. It requires skill. It does for different like moves and stuff. But at the same time, just the way the parkour system is built for Unity, it just does not allow for the amount of control you could have with the older games. It just doesn't. That's just objective. That is, and subjectively, you could say it's better because there was more moves you could do and stuff. And I get that, but objectively, you couldn't do as much with the Unity parkour as you could do with the older parkour. And I understand people saying they preferred Unity's parkour because it felt more satisfying. It felt more, people say streamlined. But I wouldn't say streamlined myself, but I get why they say it. I get why people like that, especially if they played those games before they played the older games. They expect it to be all this, what they feel is smooth, and then they feel a bit more, you could say, clunky with the older games. I understand not liking it as much, but you know, for someone that really enjoyed the Assassin's Tomb missions, where you would you would go through these tombs, and it would basically be a climbing puzzle. You would climb this way, you would jump this way, you would do that. You can't do a climbing puzzle in Assassin's Creed Unity because it doesn't allow for back ejecting, it doesn't allow for this, it doesn't allow for that. You would be falling down all the time, and they tried to do it with one thing in Unity, where you collect all these collectibles. It unlocks this room where you have to do a climbing puzzle, and it was the hardest thing ever. Not because you weren't good enough, but because the parkour system didn't allow for what it was trying to get you to do. It was too floaty and clunky, and kind of clunky. It looked smooth, but it was clunkier really. So I think Mirage, if Mirage has Unity parkour, I still think that's going to be a better thing than what we've had in Valhalla, because Valhalla was an Odyssey in that it was just a even more dumbed down version of Unity's parkour. It doesn't even look good anymore. It doesn't play good or look good with the parkour in the most recent games. At least Unity it looked good and it felt satisfying. So there's no way in hell they're ever going to bring back the Ezio parkour system, probably because it hasn't been built for that sort of engine they use now, but also probably because they don't see it in the same way older fans such as myself do with the company. They probably think flashy is better. So I think they'll bring back Unity parkour, and hopefully they'll not just rip it from what it was and bring it back. They'll take what it was and build on it, enhance upon it, and hopefully not make it floaty, not make it clunky, maybe make it a best of both worlds, what it should be. So I hope that's the case.
They'll probably make it like flashy and all that, but not as slow as Altair's parkour.
Oh, it will be fast and flashy.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, I would love to be able to, can't back eject properly, like cancel my eject and go left, go right. I want more control. So if they can try and bring that in, I don't know if it's possible, but that's what I'd like to do. But realistically, I think they're just going to take Unity's parkour and just bring it into Mirage.
Yeah.
I think that's just what they'll do. Again, I'm not complaining because that's still going to be way better than Valhalla's parkour. It's still going to be a step up, you know?
I haven't played Valhalla in a long time.
Same. Yeah. I tried to play it again and I couldn't.
It's too long. That's what I think all the new games are too long.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I like the dedication free run down in Unity. Yeah, I get you. Like holding B to climb down. That was something I enjoyed.
That was good.
That was something that could have been, appreciated, I guess you could say, in the Ezio games. Like, yeah, I prefer the older parkour system, but they could have had a better way of, descending buildings, which Unity brought in. So I won't deny that was good. Yeah. I really have to get used to AC3's parkour after playing Ezio games. It's much more simplified. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people say they like AC3 parkour, but, there was more, I guess you could say, control than the later games, but it was very much dumbed down from the Ezio games, so I get what you're saying there. And they tried to do Assassin's sort of tombs in that as well, a few of them, and even with that parkour system, it was a lot harder to do. Anyway. How long have we been going for? We've been going for 1 hour 26.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I have to say about it. What about you?
I'm excited.
For Mirage? Are you going to play it?
I'm probably going to play it.
I feel like at this point, we've talked about it for so long, like, kind of have to.
Yeah.
Got to see what it's all about.
Harrison's always like, oh yeah, I'm going to wait till the day before. He's pre-ordered it now.
No, I'm not going to pre-order. I will pre-order the day before, the week before, so that I can hopefully pre-install it like I did Valhalla, and then I'll be streaming it to you guys on here. Hopefully that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm quite excited for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to play it. I'm not a massive Assassin's Creed fan, but I do enjoy the games. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I think it would be good when it comes out because me and you can talk about it, and then obviously me and you guys can talk about it as well, and maybe I'll get you on again and we could talk about it and stuff. Yeah. And I think the possibilities for me personally with this channel is going to be endless when the game comes out. I do think I'm going to do pretty well. I hope so because I enjoy it. I put a lot of work into it, and I know you guys enjoy it. So hopefully we can get some more people enjoying it and stuff like that. Andrew says, hopefully there's no day before embargoes. Oh, I see what you mean. Like, do you mean before the game comes out, they don't want people to say you can't show this, you can't show that? Let's be real, they're probably not going to give me a review code because firstly, I'm not a big enough channel. Secondly, because I have said Ubisoft are a bad company, so I don't think they're going to want to do anything with me, which is fine. I'll get the game the day it comes out, and I'll do as much as I can then. What's your guys' names? My name's the Exile. No, I'm joking. No, I do say my name to be fair, because obviously you guys can follow me on Instagram. Harrison Ellis, by the way, was my Instagram. Yeah, my name is Harrison. This is Lewis. I just don't usually say my name very much in YouTube videos because it's not about me, is it? It's about the game.
No, yeah.
I like to remind myself of that when I make videos. It's not about me. It's about the game. It's about what I'm talking about. And sure, I can throw in some jokes here and there and a bit of my personality, but that it's got to be about the content first and then yourself after, because that's why the person's clicking. And I used to struggle with that with like my older channels that I've talked about in my last episode. I had older channels where I used to do other things, and I really struggled with that. I used to kind of really think it was about me, and it wasn't about me. So I with this channel, I always make sure it's not about me. It's about the games, and then I come second, sort of thing. I'm just the spokesperson, I suppose, that I can add a little bit of flair, a little bit of zest. Maybe not zest, a little bit of fruitiness.
You don't want to be
the fruity don.
Yeah.
I'm the fruity don, Anyway, yeah, I mean, guys, in the chat, we'll probably give it about 5 more minutes before we go. So if you have any more questions, let us know now before we head off. Because I feel like we kind of spoke about everything today. I feel like I've had a good sort of, I got out what I wanted to get out. I got a little bit excited when I imagined the gameplay and the viewpoints.
Yeah.
Do you know, one thing I will say, I keep having dreams that we get Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay. It's like making videos about Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's like a torture because I keep getting dreams that we're seeing gameplay, and in the dream it's amazing. Like I had this one dream where like it was like real life, and I was kind of in the game, but it was like watching gameplay, and it was all these amazing things. I was going through the city. It was amazing. And then I had another dream before that where the gameplay came out, and it was really bad. So I keep having these dreams. I should have pulled up earlier. Now you should have more subs. Yeah. No, it's all good, mate. You can if you missed a lot of the stream, feel free to just rewind it if you have the time, or watch it. You know, this will stay up as a VOD, whatever they call it. I think it's VOD.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Video, mate. This will stay up in the lives tab of my channel that you can watch back at any point, and I'll timestamp it later on as well, so you can always watch more. And I should have more subs. I agree. No, it's alright. You know, you got to start somewhere. I've only been doing this a few months, so I get it. 1,000, mate. I'm happy with 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty good going.
I didn't even get 10. I created a YouTube channel ages ago.
Did you?
I probably got like 7 subscribers.
Was it like a little like kiddie cringy one?
It was. See if I can find it.
Yeah. We've all been there. We've all been there. Maybe one day I'll react to my old private videos from when I was like 15 or something. That'd be cringe, but we could do it. We could do it. Let's have a look. See how many people is watching right now. Before we go. Oh, I keep full screen in the wrong bloody thing, mate.
12 subscribers.
Oh, let's go, mate. 12 subs. Let's fucking go. We got 4 viewers right now.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god,
yeah.
mate. Do you want to show them?
No.
Mate, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Yes, no.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's about it, I'd say. You know,
yeah.
It was good to have you guys here today. We will see you on the podcast. I'm not sure next time Lewis will be here. I'm sure he'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back.
It was nice being here.
Yeah. Probably just going to be back to me tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. Just chilling, but you know, chatting. But yeah. You know, we'll be back next week for the episode 3 of Renaissance Radio. And in the meantime, you know, I'll be making AC Mirage videos. I'll be working on my bigger scripted videos of different games, such as the Elder Scrolls Travels Oblivion cancelled PSP game I made recently. Check that out if you haven't already, because I put a lot of work into that, and I'm hoping it gets a bit more love, because I think it's a really good video. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already. And I'll be, again, as I said, I'll be working on bigger videos. I'll be doing the news videos. I'll be doing this, doing that. I'll be here and there. I'll be doing bits. I'll be doing bits. So I'll see you guys soon. Have you got any closing words?
Thank you for having me.
No worries, mate. No worries.
I appreciate it.
No worries.
Thank you for everyone for all the comments.
Yeah.
And I will hopefully be back soon.
I'm sure you will. Yes. Andrew says, enjoy the rest of your guys' day. Thank you, Andrew.
Cheers, Andrew.
You enjoy the rest of your day too. You enjoy it. You enjoy whatever time it is for you right now. And yeah, same for everybody watching right now. Enjoy your guys' day, evening, afternoon, everything like that. We will see you soon. May the Father of Understanding complete it.
I don't know.
Oh, what? No, bro, you watch my videos, you know.
Yeah.
May the Father of Understanding guide us. I will see you soon. Go on, say it. I'll say, may the Father of Understanding guide us. You go, I will see you soon.
Alright.
Ready? May the Father of Understanding guide us.
I'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Bye.